Mike, turn your games down.
Hi, we're going to a comic episode of Games My Mom Found. I am Mike Albertin, and who says Godzilla's got to go? Oh no, with me tonight.
Fake kaiju enthusiast, King Kuma.
That was true.
I am Joe Butler, and you got kaiju, my Power Rangers, and now we're fused.
All right, let's wrap it up. That's pretty much the whole comic.
All right, cool. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
So we are here to talk about Godzilla versus the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 2. Because apparently the first one did good enough to get a sequel.
Whoever they got to do the art for this comic, I'm taking like a fucking ping pong paddle and slapping them across the face.
You don't like the art?
Don't read. I think it's the same artist as Batman and TMNT, so don't read that.
Oh yeah, this. I'm sorry if you guys liked it. I think this art was ass for this fucking comic. I'm sorry.
Honestly, I'm not. There's better art. I'll say that. I'll agree. There's better art. I don't hate it, but there's better.
I will say once we get this comic kicked off, because I got confused in the beginning for like a moment, and I'll explain why.
To be fair, it's a confusing comic. It is a sequel to the first one, which I don't remember that well. We read that over a year ago. So, in the story by Colleen Bunn, art by Valdemar Rivas. So that's the artist, at least of the first issue. I gotta say the covers are cool. I'm not a big fan of the art either. There's something about it, but it was fine. It was doable for me. I didn't have like a big problem with it, but
I will say this is like cartoonish as it is, like kind of fits in a way, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, I swear, these things keep telling us, hey, if you guys remember to watch White Lightning yet, because out of all the stuff I've seen in this, I did not realize it starts off with the White Ranger fighting people.
I haven't rewatched it yet. No.
I mean for the show. It's this day.
We're going to. I'm being reminded. I was reminded when I read this. I'm like, yeah, we should probably do that soon.
Yeah, it's pretty. Next step would probably be watching that.
Yeah, that'll be our next Power Ranger thing. Our next thing involves mutants and Batman.
I'm so excited to watch that too. Sadly, I got spoiled to the ending for that, and I was very upset.
I remember the ending, but I just watched it. So that, yeah. No, I mean, I was thinking the same thing because I don't remember anything about the White Ranger really, like how he becomes, and it's hitting me more and more that we need to cover that next.
It's pretty basic from what I remember, right, Rich? It's just like Tommy. There's an episode, we could technically do a back-to-back if we wanted to as well. There's the episode where Tommy loses his powers, and there's like a candle, and the candle goes out, so he's done for. And then like 10-ish episodes later, there's a mysterious new White Ranger, and then it's just Tommy, and I don't remember how they explain it, but it's way different from what we read in the comic.
They try to give you red herrings and like, oh, it could be this person, could be that person, and try to hint towards it, like 2-3 other people. And then when the big reveal comes, the person comes down from the fucking like literal heavens with their suit and helmet on, and then he pulls it off, and it's Tommy. So that sums it up pretty well, yeah.
See, you make that joke, Rich, but they do it again when they reintroduce Jason as the fucking Gold Ranger. So
yeah, we'll talk about this after that. We can figure out what we want to work in there for when he becomes the White Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 episodes for it, but then we can probably put a couple more.
Guys, I will say this though: the White Ranger, the powers that makes it what it is, makes it almost more special than any other like connection to the Morphin Grid that you could ever have, and you'll see that later on in our main series run. Like think of the White Ranger as like a fucking paladin.
Okay.
You'll see as we go.
So this comic starts off as kind of Joe had mentioned too. It starts off the White Ranger is fighting Rita's goons in some other world. Do we know that he's in a ruined Angel Grove? I think, yeah, we know that. And it does some weird shit. Like, I was just confused with why if the White Ranger then Godzilla shows up, because apparently he's in a Godzilla world, I guess.
In his universe, Godzilla is one and the same.
Oh, okay.
So we have a merging of universes here, as usual.
Okay, they do like that. I mean, that's kind of how these comics work.
Yeah. Like, as you see, that's why there's 2 Tommies. Like, you got your White Ranger here that has a world where Godzilla exists. Then you also have another world where there's another Tommy, and he's the Green Ranger, so...
I also did not realize that the Tiger Zord can morph into the warrior mode, too. I did not realize that. I forgot all about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, because he does that early on when Godzilla shows up, and then he ends up teleporting you. I don't think it was by choice. I think Rita opens... Something happened. Oh, he does something with he has a piece of a stone. He opens up a new world, or a new dimension, and gets
multiversal focus.
Yes. That they say wrong all the time. And then he goes to the Power Ranger world, but it's the same Power Rangers from the first Godzilla one that went into a different dimension. But now they're in their regular dimension. This is going to be a mouthful episode, isn't it?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So this had me low-key kind of confused. Like I have those saved. Because it has Tommy, obviously, or technically they never say it's Tommy, but they have the White Ranger. And he's like that's what I was talking about, the art. He's like hopping around. There's like a second page where he's like legit elongated. And I'm like, oh, this is probably like her making a putty, like trying to fight. But it's like, no, that's the White Ranger. And then because the way I'm also kind of familiar with it, like I think I mentioned you guys before, the White Ranger isn't in Mighty Morphin. He's in Super Sentai. Technically, he's his own ranger, and then he sometimes helps the other rangers that he's part of. I don't remember. I'll look for the video so I can say it to you guys, so it makes more sense. Mm-hmm. So I was like, oh, this must be the Super Sentai White Ranger. It's like, no, this is still Power Rangers. I'm like, oh, okay, then I guess I'm just fucking wrong all the time.
Well, you're looking at it logically, and they took your logic and played basketball with it.
Yeah,
it's not your fault.
Well, and they have a big hard on for cramming more than one Tommy on our pages at a time.
Yeah.
Power Rangers love Tommy.
Yeah, he's the only one still willing to do it after fucking 30 years.
He was. Yeah, I'm still sad about that.
Yeah.
But I do like where he has a brief thing where he tells him how in his world Rita took over and took out his Rangers, and she was collecting Rangers from different realities and stealing all their abilities. Like, it is a cool concept. And I'm also glad that we read as much as we had, because otherwise I would have no fucking idea who that purple-haired woman was here with Rita had we not read that trial story.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd help. And if you notice, the Rangers have clothes on from like the first few episodes that they were in the show. We didn't really get a lot of that when we read the main line series.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that, but you bring a good point. It makes sense. Because it's trying to be like a different version of them, and this version is trying to be closer to the TV show version of them.
Mm-hmm.
The same outfits, the same hairstyles. It's the 90s, and it tries to make sure you know it's the 90s. Because it looks like the fucking 90s.
I will give it that. It does look like a 90s fucking comic. Like, if you told me this came out like fucking 20 years ago, I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. Too bad this came out, I think the run officially ended. Yeah, the run officially ended like last year, so...
Yeah, it just ran. I forgot to say that when I was reading it, I think maybe. It ran from April to August in 2024. Just 5 issues. Just a little miniseries that I'm happy exists.
And thankfully ends. But we'll get there.
Does it or does it?
Because I kind of... it'll come into something later on, probably. Because don't they reference each other sometimes? Like, don't all, like... I don't know, doesn't the TMT comic also mention, like Batman, too, or something?
I don't think so, because I don't think they're able to...
If they do, it's typically in like Easter egg type of stuff. Like you'll see it like something in the background, but I don't think they like directly reference it.
I don't think legally they're allowed to.
Well, we'll see, because at some point, you know, we're doing everything, and I may not be a Turtles fan, but I sure as fucking a Naruto fan, and I'm going to make y'all read that.
Oh, yeah, we're doing that 100%. I'm just letting it end. That's all.
Awesome.
I know. I'm like, now that I was like, yeah, I know we're doing that. I'm like, I know Joe's up for it, so.
Super up for it. It looks so good. It looks better than this.
This is one of those times where I feel like, okay, Joe, show me in the doll where this hurts you.
Or I'm going to have a really hype time, and you guys aren't going to understand why.
We won't understand why, no. But it doesn't mean I won't enjoy it. But no, I won't understand it. I don't know anything about Naruto.
That's what I'm there for.
Okay.
I watched the whole like first series, never anything else, but I think that's all they're covering is the first series anyway, I would assume.
Yeah, this looks like it's only covering like, if even the first like 2-3 fucking seasons, so I think we'll be good.
Yeah, so like I'll actually probably be pretty familiar with some of that stuff.
I watched up to he fought a water guy is all I remember. I watched 10 episodes.
I think you'll be good from there.
Okay. It's been a while. So in this comic, the Tommy shake hands, which I think is hilarious because, you know, it's the same person.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how the Green Ranger's like, what the fuck? With the White Ranger's like, and you know, they mimic each other and put their hands together because, you know, it's the same fucking person. So I don't know.
They gave each other that like what is it, Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger and the other guy handshake.
Yeah.
I do love that they explain too, which I think is funny. Because funny enough, we picked a good way to read this because we read it after the whole multiversal thing that we read. So it's fun. It's at least low-key interesting where it's like, so are your Rangers us? And he's like, kind of, but it makes my head hurt when I think about it, which is fair.
You know, that was not planned, by the way, by me in any shape or form, for the record.
I do hate the art on this page where they're doing the Predator handshake. Like, Zordon looks like a blob of garbage. And then
yeah, there's some...
Look at the White Ranger's helmet with that dumpy face. Like, I hate that.
Okay, so thankfully there's a Power Rangers official YouTube. Weird that Green with Evil was like an hour and a half, but both White Lightning and thankfully Green No More are 40. So yeah, we could probably do both of those. That way we can get the time in.
Okay, well we'll talk about that after. But yes, so then Zordon tells him that there's a disturbance in the force. I mean the multiverse, and Godzilla and the monsters that the White Ranger were fighting followed him to this universe, and then you get to see the Psycho Rangers. Though I did not know the Psycho Rangers work for the purple-haired woman.
That's all connected. That's in space.
Yeah, I do not remember in space. I must have like missed it or something because whenever they bring up the Psycho Rangers and stuff, I'm like, that existed, and everyone's like, yeah, and I'm like, I don't remember that.
I like the Psycho Rangers. I also like how I know Rich, you brought up a point about how the blue one wasn't actually, or not the blue one, the green one wasn't part of the series, and we have not seen the green one at all. So I like that you mentioned that before because the green one, the one that's not here, because he's not part of them. It's cool. It's cool to see the Psycho Ranger, and then this issue ends with her using the Godzilla villain powers to turn the Psycho Rangers into kaiju monsters, I guess.
And this is the only time you really see them in their Psycho Ranger outfits, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the book, this little book, they're in the weird. Yeah, this book gets weird.
A lot of merging.
I'm surprised we even haven't gotten that officially because, like, Kaiju Rangers honestly sounds like something we would make in America. I say because we fucking, Japan also owned Godzilla as well, so I'm honestly surprised they haven't thought of that before we did. But also having the villains be the Godzilla enemies is also really interesting too.
I mean, it's a cool concept.
It's just hard to pull off, and I feel like, well, as we'll see, there's a bit of a struggle trying to figure some of this out, but we'll talk more about that at the end.
It's a confusing comic. I mean, so looking at cover 2, or issue 2, it has a couple cool covers. The only cover I really like is the third cover down, cover R1, where it has the Power Rangers on one side, Psycho Rangers. That's kind of cool. But
yeah,
I wasn't super a fan of most of these covers.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about that stupid Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar is so cool, though. He's piloted by a man.
He is, but I don't like his design is not that great.
Thought it was Ultraman at first.
I remember it when I was a kid. I remember when I was younger, but not the biggest fan.
But Ultraman probably is owned by somebody else, I bet.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought it. I mean, in the second issue, they end up teleporting Godzilla and the monsters to a different world that isn't as populated. And they end up in a Godzilla world where Godzilla has a theme park apparently. And there's a little scene where they mention where some guy is running towards the fight, and I was like, it's gonna be Ultraman, and then it turns into a giant robot, which is what you said. Jet was his name.
Jet Jaguar.
Jet Jaguar.
It's a really dumb name.
Just stick with Jet.
Okay.
Stick with Jet. But I know how you are with names.
I'm wonderful with names, sir. What are you talking about? But okay, I was just confused. I'm like, I don't even know who the fuck Jet Jaguar is. I've never heard of him before. But apparently, I'm not a Godzilla fan.
Yeah. It's a big Godzilla thing. If anything, if you watch the newer American Godzilla and King Kong versus Monkey Assholes, they very much tease Jet Jaguar for the next movie. If we get that, because that movie also ends on a decent note.
But did it make money? That's the key there.
Oh.
I mean, hey, why not? I mean, introduce new people to more things. People do love Godzilla. I mean, it is cool seeing the Megazord, the Dragon Zord, and the White Tiger Zord all fight together, which doesn't make sense because that equals 2 Tommies, but it's still cool. Like, it works, and Godzilla's here. And that one little scene when the dragon armor goes on Godzilla, that is cool.
And then nothing happens after that.
No, he puts it on. You see it for like a couple scenes, and then I think they teleport again? Yeah, they teleport again because they're getting their ass handed to them.
He looks like he does one thing in that small little box on the bottom right, and that's about it.
Yeah, he doesn't do much because Jet Jaguar apparently can use the multi-focus to take them to different worlds, and they go to some world where the Power Rangers lost, and I thought these were like another version of the Mighty Morphin, but I think it's somebody else because they say Andros.
Yeah, it's
Where
space.
Do they say Andros?
Okay, space guys. All right.
Wait. Where are you seeing Andros?
Not in this issue, but somewhere that blue guy says something about Andros. Someone does.
Okay.
But no, these are Mighty Morphin because that's the broken Megazord. I don't know. It's very confusing.
And the Rangers that you see in the they're Mighty Morphin outfits are just way different personas and people.
Was that not Billy?
That's supposed to be Billy, yeah. Just
What this guy is not Billy.
Oh, that's not Billy?
No,
okay.
I think they actually say their names as we go along.
Oh,
because I only remember later where they're like, "Where's the other Rangers?" And they're like, "Oh, they're all fucked up. What they're healing though, and all their faces are covered in bandages." And it's like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, like Pink Ranger, she's got blonde hair. She's not Cat, but they have like different names.
Wow.
You'll see when the Rangers meet up with them face to face, they'll say like a couple names.
I was very confused. Less confused than I was in Beyond the Grid and Shattered the Grid. That's for sure. But I was still confused.
Either way, they realize the whole world's been destroyed, and they're like, "I wonder what's going on." And then we're introduced to these psycho Ranger Godzilla villains.
This is weird. I mean, I know a little bit about Godzilla, but like they have Psycho Ranger Destroya, Space Godzilla, Gigan, Hydra, King Ghidra, and Megalon. I know 2 of these.
So I know King Ghidra and Space Godzilla and maybe Destroya. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, some of these are very Japan specific, which is weird.
I mean, there are people who love Godzilla. I've been friends with people who really have liked Godzilla. I used to live with someone that loved Godzilla. Like, it's not uncommon here.
It's not uncommon here, but the weird thing is, which is funnier, because a lot of stuff uses both Godzilla stuff when we're familiar with American Godzilla. Because Japanese Godzilla is like, I think if you watch like Shin Godzilla, and what's the new one that just came out like a year ago?
I don't remember.
Godzilla -1 or +1.
Oh yeah, Godzilla -1.
it.
That I remember people were raving about that movie.
Yeah, but that has that's the Japanese ones where it's like, oh man, how could humanity do this? But the American Godzilla is like, haha, big monsters fight. So
I do like the current, if it's still going, the American Godzilla Kong little universe thing. Those are decent movies.
yeah, they're pretty good. I like them.
I need to rewatch that little series, but I remember liking it, what I've seen so far.
They're really good. My only thing that I hate about the new Godzilla is I was like, oh man, I can't wait till we get Mecha Godzilla. And I said that as a joke, and the monkey girl pawed. And I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this Mecha Godzilla in this 4th movie.
I didn't see the last one.
The last one's pretty good.
The Empire, right?
Yeah,
I didn't see that yet.
Yeah, they make Godzilla purple and they give King Kong a what's that thing from the 90s from Nintendo?
The Power Glove?
Yeah, they give Godzilla a Power Glove. Not Godzilla, they give King Kong a Power Glove, and he also has that stupid axe from the last movie.
I'll check it. I mean, at some point, I'm sure I'll sit down and watch it, maybe.
Now, see, the best thing to do is, which I wouldn't advise it, but it's whatever, is watch them before the new one comes out, because those movies are only good when you go see them in theaters.
Yeah, no, I saw Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters, and that was a fun experience. So, I agree with you.
Rich,
that is the right way to watch them.
Rich, have you seen the new Godzilla movies?
No, I mean, the last one I saw at all was like the first Godzilla vs. King Kong. I saw Shin Godzilla. That doesn't count really, right? But
yeah,
that's about it. I haven't seen anything else after that.
There's also an Apple TV show that I don't think any of us have watched either.
Watched half of that, actually.
How is it?
We enjoyed it from what we saw.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
A little slow. It is slow paced, but it's not bad.
I think it's supposed to be.
I don't partake in Apple products in this house.
Oh, God, nice.
I'm one of those people.
No, he's a Tesla driver.
I do see Tesla trucks, unfortunately, every so often around here, and I'm just like, you fucking assholes, every time.
I'll give it like a month. They're all being vandalized, and it's like the funniest thing ever.
Normally, I would feel bad, but this is one of the few cases where I'm like, yeah, you kind of deserve it. So
what? I don't know what's worse, driving a car made by an actual Nazi or driving a car where, like, they've been exploding in the past year, haven't they?
Yeah, they were recalled a lot. There's a lot of issues with them. They're not good vehicles, and they're ridiculously expensive.
Or you have the latter, which still makes zero fucking sense to me. You drive a car that isn't fucking street legal, because those Tesla trucks aren't street legal. You can't put them on your insurance. No one sells them anymore.
They still sell them.
They're not supposed to, because they're not street legal. If most insurance I'm pretty sure all insurance companies said if you buy a Tesla truck, we will not cover you. So in a sense, they're technically not street legal.
They're street legal in the United States, but it has rate concerns about safety and potential pedestrian hazards due to its design.
God damn it! I fucking hate America. Fucking.
But no, I have no problem with Tesla cars. I don't have one, no. But the trucks are the ones where I draw the line, because chances are you bought a car before you're like, okay, that's a good idea. Not when you're like, I want to support a Nazi. A Tesla trucks, you're pretty much like, I want to buy a piece of shit for $100K. I have nothing better, because I could, instead of buying like a Ford F-150, like a real truck, no, I want to buy this bullshit. There's a difference. You're just economically stupid.
Also, weirdly enough, we keep forgetting there's a guy that's like controlling Jet Jaguar. I don't even know if they say his name, but he's there.
His name's Goro.
He doesn't have 4 arms, Rich.
I noticed.
Okay.
Technically, he does. He has his own and then his robots.
Okay. Yeah, I forgot he's controlling it. He's the one telling them like what's going on because they go to this new world and the five Psycho Rangers come and they're fighting. No, this is where they say Andra. When the Red Rangers like come in, this is Idra, the Red Ranger. So I was thinking these were different Rangers.
Oh, they are different Rangers, but it's not the Space Rangers.
Okay, still Mighty Morphin, but different Mighty Morphin.
Different personas, yeah. As if you see a few pages in, the Pink Ranger, she says, when the Megazord's hull was ruptured, we lost track of Nathan and Clarissa. Not sure.
Oh, interesting. I completely missed.
I was very confused. I was just so confused with all of this. And then they just keep teleporting over and over again. They teleport again. I do like how where Rita's like, I won! And I think this is when the purple hair woman's like, yeah, don't count your chickens, essentially.
I like that. I also said earlier how I hate the art in this series. The only thing I like about this issues is I like how they draw Rita. They draw her as an absolute gremlin, and it's deserved, so it's funny.
Yeah,
it changes. Some of the drawings are more normal Rita, and then some are like goofy when they're trying to show her having extreme emotion. Like the one that you're referring to with her big eyes. It's goofy.
Yeah, look.
It's goofy.
She's a literal witch that they found in a dumpster on the moon. I think it's funny that they make her into a gremlin.
Fair enough. And they teleport to some other world, and then they run into... I think I recognize these little fairy women.
Yeah, I remember those back when I was a kid. I even as a kid thought it was super goddamn weird to see them, and I don't know if they summon Mothra or turn into Mothra or some goofy shit like that.
I think
but that's what I remember as a kid. Yeah,
I know Mothra. Like I knew who Mothra was before this because I've seen a few Godzilla movies back in the day. I feel like Eric would have put them on sometimes just because I think he liked Godzilla. My dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my dad. That's the only reason I was watching it too. I mean, I thought it was kind of cool as a kid, to be honest, but I did think the little fairies were weird.
Isn't Godzilla like unisex? I thought doesn't like Godzilla lay their own eggs? I don't fucking know.
It depends on which version. In the Matthew Broderick USA movie, she lays eggs. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Otherwise, I thought it was male. Japanese.
I think it's male. Otherwise, normally, or some kind of asexual. I don't know. That's a weird question. Not a weird question, but a question I can't answer because I never thought about it. Why is it that when you asked that question, Joe, also what came into my brain was, so do you lift up the dinosaur skirts to make sure they're all girls? That's what popped in my head just now.
Okay.
Ian Malcolm, Jurassic Park 1, when he tells them that they're all female dinosaurs. He makes that comment.
So long.
I love that movie.
The Shobijin, Shobijin, are two tiny priestess or fairies created by Toho that first appeared in 1961 film Mothra, and recurring characters in both Mothra and Godzilla theme series. They accompany and speak for Mothra.
I like that Mothra's in this, because it's one of Godzilla's allies.
That's why it looked so old when I did watch it.
Because it was old. I did not realize when they showed up that it was a reference to Mothra at first, because then the Psycho Rangers come, and then this is when Mothra shows up and starts fighting and helps Godzilla because the Rangers are useless right now. And then they teleport again, this time to the world that they're from, so the mechs can heal better. And this is when they morph, or they now get kaiju powers. And so I know who Rodan is. I have no idea who Angier is. Baragon, King Caesar. That is a dumb name. No idea who those characters are.
Rodan's a good guy.
I didn't think so.
I know Mothra, Rodan, and then that's about it, I think.
I had a toy of Rodan. I know that. It was I had a Godzilla, one of the Micro Machines Godzilla playsets, and it had Rodan and Godzilla. I used to play with that a lot.
I think Angrius is supposed to be the turtle that's in everything. I don't know. I thought there was a turtle inside everything.
I don't know. I don't really follow Godzilla, nor do I have a desire to read other Godzilla comics.
Any true Godzilla fans listening to this are probably going to be throwing up.
Or they should just be happy we actually have Godzilla content on this podcast now. We had one, but now we have two.
How do you guys not know who King Caesar is? He's my favorite Godzilla fucking monster.
I mean, some people know I've never heard of him. I knew who Mothra was. I knew Queen Mothra.
Tattooed on my lower back. Oh my god.
And then I guess a bunch of Rita's monsters now are attacking where the Power Rangers headquarters are. But if Rita knew where they were all the time, couldn't Rita have just destroyed it sooner?
The thing with this too, though, like when the Rangers got their merging powers with the good kaiju or whatnot, like they just kind of explain it like, yeah, me. Goro's like, yeah, like me, the fucking, I don't know, wherever those fairy girls are, and then that weird wizard in her tube, we combine our powers and you can merge now. So have fun.
At least it wasn't a gerbil wizard.
Oh, don't you dare.
He came up in the Discord. We were talking about him.
That's absolutely horrendous.
What happens?
The gerbil wizard that Rich loves.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently scarred Richard for over 20 years.
Oh, it's going to be till the day I die.
It was so ugly when we watched Turbo. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit?
I love
that's so out of place. It just didn't make any sense.
I love that that's everyone's reaction to that fucking gerbil when they watch that movie, too. It's fucking hilarious.
It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't fit. Why is he there?
Besides that, it's awkward. Not only is it ugly as fuck, and it makes the weirdest little noises. It's not like nonverbal. It's weird as hell.
I feel like somebody paid Saban to put it in the movie.
I'll only take that as an answer. Otherwise, like, if that's a creative like decision of his, like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah, no. This was the essence of like where they were trying to figure out how to do stuff, and what is it? They were just kind of experimenting because Alf and what are those fucking little things that was real popular? The Furbies.
Trolls?
Yeah, and Trolls.
Furbies.
Yeah, they were all popular.
Trolls,
so it's like, yeah, let's have a little mascot. My favorite example. Do y'all remember fucking Beetleborgs?
Yeah, yes, I do.
Big bad Beetleborg.
So Rich knows. Rich, don't spoil it. Mike, do you know who their fucking Zordon was for Beetleborgs?
No, I don't.
It's a fucking ghost dressed as Elvis. It's not Elvis though.
He looks like Jay Leno and Elvis combined.
Yeah, it's fucking ugly. Let me get a picture real quick. It's fucking ugly, and it's like so weird because it's like, who approved this? Someone approved this.
Yeah, well, and
it was the 90s.
Jumping, like leapfrogging off of that Beetleborgs comment, like the reason we had the Blue Turbo Ranger being a kid is because Beetleborgs was kind of successful, and they were like, okay, yeah, we could just cram one of those up in Power Rangers, and it did not translate. And part of that reason is going to be probably because they went from fucking like ultimate like mythical powers to like cars.
Yeah, I'll never get why they go from the most powerful Zords ever to cars.
Well, at least they could have had an in-universe explanation, but they're like, nah, man, I just, my Pyramid Zord's got too many miles on it. This fucking Jeep, though.
Hey, maybe they got a deal at the dealership, The guy's like, I'll even throw in a free leather upgrade chair.
Pretty much, man. I guess Dimitri is a good saleswoman.
What the fuck did you just post, Joe?
That's it. He's seeing it.
Yeah,
oh my God.
His name's Flabber.
Yep.
Because kids love
Joe
monsters.
Post picture of Flabber from Big Bad Beetleborg, and it is the ugliest thing I have seen in a while.
It's the reason that show is only one season.
That's actually two, I think. There's Metallics after that.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about that.
All right, so the last page of this issue, it shows the kaiju Zords in the background, and Rodan is the red Zord and is the dragon. That looks cool. The pink Mothra looks cool. Okay, so how do you guys feel about the Rangers and kaiju in the kaiju outfits?
I don't
like it.
I think they look cool, man. I don't hate it.
I don't like it.
To me, it depends. Like, because I mean, let's far off pick like Jason's got the little baby Rodan wings. I wish it would be a lot bigger, a lot cooler. Billy looks pretty fucking cool, if I'm being honest.
Billy looks cool.
Zach, pretty cool. But aside from that, it's very reminiscent of Monster Hunter to me.
Yeah.
I knew that would
I might have stole Joe's comment there, but yeah.
No, I didn't even think about that. You're 100% right. There's something I like about these, but I can't put my finger on it. Now that you mentioned it, yeah, it's totally Monster Hunter armor. I mean,
what's Monster Hunter? You kill a mob and then you literally wear his skin and kill more of them and wear their family in front of them. I mean, that's kind of what Rangers are doing here in a way, just wearing the monster's skin.
Fair, yeah, that's pretty big.
They're drawn kind of goofy here. They look much better in the next cover that we have, which also spoils Tommy turning into the green Godzilla Ranger. But you get a better look at them in the next cover, and I think they actually all look great.
Yeah, that's a better run. And his wings, the Rodan wings, are still stupidly small, but otherwise looks cool still.
Yeah.
The Mothra armor or Power Ranger armor looks a lot better on the cover too than it does in the pages.
Bothers me. I don't know why, but for some reason, her having a skirt bothers me.
I don't know. I kind of hate the outfit. I mean, unless you're like a really big Butterfree fan, it's like it's not working for me.
Butterfree.
I mean, just change out the colors on that Mothra outfit. You get Butterfree practically.
Yeah, and you can see it for like issue 4. There's a bunch of different covers, and I gotta say though, they did a lot of different covers for this book.
They did. Some of them were pretty cool.
Yeah, there are some cool covers.
Yeah,
I do like the Godzilla Green Ranger design too. That's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think my favorite one is the one where it's all of them, and then you have the big Godzilla wearing the big green Zord helmet, and it's probably the best cover in this whole like fucking
Yeah, I could see that.
I mean, and this is the first time you really see them succeeding, because now that they're in their kaiju powers, they're beating the shit out of all the Rita's monsters and actually holding their own for the first time. And there's another drawing of Rita as a gremlin with pointy boobs, just for Joe.
It's funny. I love it. Like, half of these are fucking reaction images I need to save.
I mean, you could easily, just cut it, snip it out, and then there you go. Just something that you just put in like a GIF, or not a GIF, but like a little image, like you can send to people. And they will be like, why? Why? So apparently at some point, I think it's this issue, the White Ranger, Tommy, and Jaguar Jet Jaguar go to Rita's little space station, I guess, and then they find all the power coins that she's been stealing from all the Rangers. Is it just me, or does Goldar look weird in here?
Let me see what you might be referring to.
No, like I said, everyone in this comic's drawn a little funky.
I don't know. I kind of like his red eyes, but other than that, his little hunched over. It looks like his upper body's way bigger than his lower body in this entrance.
Yeah, it's just something with that entrance, and
he almost looks like a gnoll or an ogre or something going through the door. I'm sure that's what they were going for.
Where's the Green Ranger? Because I see the Green Ranger powering up, but what, he with them then, I guess? Because we didn't see him in the earlier panel. I guess he went with them, but he's not there. I don't know. The Green Ranger
he ends up meeting them there.
Oh, okay, so then he ends up getting the power and becomes cool.
I mean, shit, his Godzilla breath thing was pretty cool too.
I do like that he becomes Godzilla. I think that is cool. Okay, that breath move is cool too. Like, there's some cool design here with the kaiju stuff. Like when they morph all their weapons together to one, but now it's the kaiju power blaster. I mean, that's cool. And the Zords are cool. I do like the Zords. I think the Zords are better than the other stuff in this. So I am a fan of the Zords.
But not the outfits?
No, the outfits bother me, but the Zords are cool. I do like how... I mean, it's nice they have to do different Zords. And then this is when I think Rita and... What the hell is the purple-haired woman's name?
Astronema.
I think this is when they essentially break up and she goes her own way. Oh, and this is... and she gets mad.
Or you could say Corone. Whatever works for you, buddy.
She was the other character that joins them later.
Wait,
and when they morph all the kaiju Zords into the kaiju Megazord, that's cool. I knew it was coming.
Once again, I go on my rant of, God damn it, Hasbro, you just need to fucking get your shit together. Because honestly, as much as I hate to admit it, like if they came out with the full set of toys for like the Kaiju Rangers, I'd buy it. Those are some pretty sick designs.
I'd really consider it.
Yeah. And same for
don't own it anymore though, do they? I think they sold the toy rights to Playmates.
Playmates now, yeah.
Yeah. Have y'all seen that, by the way?
I have.
Okay, Mike.
I seen that they're making. You mean that they're making only MMPR for like 2 years or something?
Yeah, but they're bringing back like a bunch of shit they released like 5 years ago. So we're getting like the weird figurines where their heads flip over, and it's like their helmet head, and then their human head, and then
they're rehashing that. I might skip it. I already have that the older releases, so I'm like, I don't know if I wanted to get.
They'll gladly take your money again.
Yeah,
I'm sure they will. Yeah.
I would buy the Ranger belt set, the one that they have for kids, which is weird that they have it for kids. Too bad it's only the 5 fucking Ranger coins and not the one that I want.
The green?
Yep. It's only 5 power coins, no fucking green coin in there, which I'm
assuming...
Why
not green?
Because they wait to save it off so it can have its own whatever, so they can probably make it green and white like they always do.
And sell it for more or something? Because the green is the most popular.
Yeah.
That's the Ranger that everybody likes the most, so that just seems odd. So yeah, and then after they morph, that's the last part of this. But then you also have Tommy summons the Dragon Zord on the space station, which seems a little reckless. And then the issue ends with them morphing into the giant Dragon Zord. And that brings us to issue 5. This is a pretty basic cover. The original cover. It's just the Rangers and Godzilla.
Yeah, I kind of like the other cover where it's the Rangers against the Psycho Rangers.
Yeah, that one's a little better. None of these are that great though for this one. Oh, no, I feel like they would have had better covers.
Yeah, but we get an actual better look at the Kaiju Ranger, and I kind of like it. Like I said, I'd buy that too, honestly.
I mean, I feel like Playmates should do some of these strange toys, and I think they would sell.
Well, I mean, look at what we got. Like, when it comes to crossovers, they normally don't. They're not going to make toys off of that, but they did do it with the Rangers and the Turtles, which I have the full set of. So it's got to be something like that level of interest for them to even like bother. I'm surprised they did it, but I'm so fucking happy they did. Or just them even bringing out any comic originals, period. Like when we got the Omega Rangers and Draken, the Ranger Slayer, and the Lightning Collection. That was, man, I jumped on that stuff. Anything comic related, I think I have it Lightning in Lightning Collection.
That's pretty cool. And I don't blame you for one bit. I mean, there's some cool ass there's some cool ass issues and stuff in there. So, but it is good. I mean, it's a cool looking. It'd be the cool toy. I feel like. I mean, just do like something. You just do it where it's a limited run, where like they do that with Hasbro does it a lot. Do it where like, hey, if you want this, we're only going to make so many of these. You order it, and you get it. Like that's it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You just can't make it a big thing.
A lot of the Lightning Collection Rangers and stuff, like the Turtles and Rangers and all that we just talked about, a lot of that stuff was like, if you missed the pre-order, you're done.
And I think that's fine for the toys that don't have a big market. That way, people get the toy they want, the company gets the money that they want, you know, and you make a profit. You know, the money they want, because they want millions and billions, but at least you make a profit. Oh, and I didn't realize this, but apparently now that the Green Ranger's using the Godzilla power, the Dragon Zord is a Godzilla mech. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What else happens here? Then they power their mech. They fight the Psycho Rangers, White Rangers on the space station fighting Astromeda and Rita and Jet Jaguar. Oh, and then Jet Jaguar gets all the other Rangers that were captured, and you have a small scene that kind of reminded me of Shattered Grid again. So that was interesting. Jet Jaguar is a weird ass character, by the way.
He is, but be prepared because they do tease him in the last Godzilla movie that we made in America.
Okay. I should watch those. I should watch that last one. I don't even remember all of them. I mean, I watch them here and there, but I saw a bunch of them in theaters because they are fun theater movies.
They're the best way I can describe that movie. If you need an excuse to use it, there's a scene where King Kong meets a baby Kong, and he's like, "I trust you, little buddy." And then 4 more Kongs show up, and he gets pissed off because the Kong Jr. betrayed him. And I shit you not, he picks that little fucker up by the leg and whips him around to beat the other Kongs with. And it's like the funniest scene in that whole fucking movie.
All right. I didn't expect that to go there, but all right. So then after they beat the Psycho Rangers, they essentially, and all the other Rangers got freed. Astromeda, Rita run away. They give back the Zord powers to the kaiju, and they all fly away back to their worlds. Or no, they help their powers hit the Psycho Rangers, but then they lose the villains' powers, and then everybody gets warped away and sent back home, pretty much. And then you do get some cool scenes, just some cool.
Look at this He-Man Tommy at the bottom. Green Ranger is like super jacked. Never see him like that.
Yeah, he's hella jacked.
The art is something in here. Oh, instead of saying morphin time, they say it's kaiju time.
Mm-hmm.
And then they tease a third one of these because Rita had comments how she can't ally herself with someone else because it didn't work out, and then she says the alliance of Ritas, and she goes into a room with a round table and a ton of Ritas.
There's a little pig one, the one that looks like Ganon.
Yeah, yes, there is.
There's also one that's a clown, I think. I don't know.
One with like a third eye on its forehead, one with skull face.
But unlike the last Godzilla comic, which actually had to be continued at the end, this one says the end.
Oh, it does say the end. I don't know why I said I thought it said to be continued.
Yeah, so I'm not that worried about it. I guess one's also a baby. There's one in a high chair.
No, one's a snail. There's a couple aliens. It's a little odd. All right.
Yeah, I'm not that worried about it. I think that's just a joke, and then I think
the first one was better. I will say that. I think the first series was better than this.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of gotta agree. I liked it a bit more. It seemed a bit more grounded. This one was kind of like a Saturday morning cartoon throwaway, I feel. The only thing that we really got, I feel, is the kaiju suits and Zords. That's it. That's the only cooler thing over the first one.
Yeah, because we didn't get that. But I don't know. There was just something about this that maybe it's the art that was just a little off. But then maybe I can't remember what the art was in the first one.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was this.
There was just something that just didn't feel right to me during reading it. I mean, I enjoyed it. I read this all in one day and I wasn't bored. So it didn't hurt me like the Justice League one. I'm never going to forgive that one for being so bad.
That was definitely one of the worst we read.
Mm-hmm. I hated that comic. Hated
it. I think that one, honestly, that was the bottom of the barrel, but I'd rather read this than...
You know what I felt? I felt like, because I was thinking about that Justice League and Power Rangers. I was like, man, we all know the Power Rangers took like the worst backseat to DC that we could ever see, right? But In this, I felt like Godzilla took a pretty big backseat in this one.
Yeah, he did. Oh, it's different art. It's different art in the other one. Way different art in the first Godzilla. For the record, it's not the same art. As the art style is more real. Yeah. No, it's also kind of He-Man-ish, but it's different. I don't know how to explain it. But no, you are right. Like, I mean, yes, they work in Godzilla, but it wasn't the same. Godzilla really wasn't even in this that much.
No, he just kind of slapped a few monsters around, bumped a space station, but they were like barely touched on.
It didn't mesh as well.
We see Godzilla wear that suit for like one moment, and honestly, I feel like maybe they should have done a couple of other like Godzilla characters wearing mech armor, but like Godzilla doesn't show up until like he's in the third chapter, and then he's in the third comic, and then he doesn't make an appearance till like the ending of like the fifth one, and then he just kind of like screams and that's it.
It's really just about the other kaiju, and I think maybe that's just what they were going for, but kind of missing something.
Yeah. I do like that part where Tommy becomes the green Godzilla Ranger, and you see him powering up, and that part's pretty cool. But
do you think we'll get a third one?
No,
I don't want it.
Okay.
I hope not.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Knowing that I saw the images, like how cool the suits looked, like I was kind of excited to read this, and then that was it. That was like seeing the coolest moments in a trailer for a movie, and then you watched the movie, and that was it. Like the trailer bits were the best part. That's what we got here.
I think that's completely fair. Because I knew it, because I had seen that too. And no, Joe is half right. The first comic ends with the end ? But also it shows like the Dino Rangers and some other Rangers. It shows Lord Draken in like these different panels when she split into the world. And the Rangers look completely different because the art style is a different style, way stylized compared to what we on a different level than what we had in this one. I wonder why they didn't get the same people back. Probably busy with other jobs, but I don't know. I like to keep the same art.
Yeah,
but yeah, you're probably right.
These like side projects, like they're gonna take whoever's not either busy or just wants to try something different because it's not their main running line.
Yeah, and it's not a forever job.
Uh-huh.
I don't think anything is a forever job, especially in comics right now. So.
Oh yeah.
I feel like comic jobs, like so many runs are canceled, and Diamond just went out of business not that long ago, and comics are have their own little issues right now. Yeah, because Diamond went for bankrupt, so yeah, that wasn't good for the comic industry, especially since they had to stiff a lot of companies because they didn't have the money to pay them. So that's neither here nor there. All right, should we go to Shelf Stacker Box or anything else you guys want to say?
No, I think we kind of crammed in a lot right there.
Yeah,
we did. Oh, why don't you go first?
Did you say Joe?
Yeah. Oh, I heard, why don't you go first? I was like, me or Rich? That's a rough one, because I want to put it in the box because I didn't give a shit about it, but I'm going to have to stack it just because it has small moments that I hope that at least reference something eventually. I like the kaiju. I like the kaiju armor. I like the Psycho Ranger kaijus. I like the kaiju mech too, so I'll at least give it that. So it's in the stack, but it's like on the edge where it's like, I just took this out of the box. It might go back in.
All right. And Rich?
I mean, we all know how I feel about Rangers on here. And I mean, let's not forget, like, there's a part of me that grew up watching Godzilla and actually loved Godzilla as a kid to an extent. This was, like you said earlier, it wasn't as good as the first one. In this case, I'd have to forcibly box it. But as we talked about before, also, like, if they had the action figures, the toys that came out, and I could put those on a shelf, absolutely would shelve the hell out of those. But the comics itself, no, not so much. I'm not the biggest fan of it.
Okay. And I'll go last. I'm going to put this in the stack. I didn't mind it. Like, I mean, looking back at it, I was like, kind of, okay, this is kind of dumb. But when I read it for the first time, I mostly enjoyed it. I mostly had a good time. It wasn't, it didn't hurt me like the Justice League comic. It wasn't, I read worse. I read better, but decent time. Like, but I also have like zero love for Godzilla in general. So I think that also kind of, and my love for Power Rangers is nowhere near what it is for either of you guys. So it hits me a little different, but no, it wasn't as good as some of the stuff that we read. But I enjoyed it more than Beyond the Grid. So doesn't that count for something?
I suppose.
Did not enjoy Beyond the Grid. But I'm glad to read it because I was hyped for this one. It didn't live up to the hype that I had for it after reading the first one and how I felt, but I'm still glad that we got to cover it because it's one of those things that's been on my mind since they first announced it that we should cover it.
I'm glad we did. I mean, I took longer than I wanted to actually read it, but I guess I wasn't really rushing into anything exciting.
And I'm with Joe. I don't need a third one. So I wouldn't. I mean, if we got one, would I read it? Yes. Would I cover it? Yes. But do I care? No. They don't.
I'm in the same boat. If they made it, fine. I'll submit and read it and whatever, and hopefully enjoy it. But otherwise, I don't want them to make another one.
No, they don't need to. Yeah, I think that's everything we need to say. And I'm not sure what the next. I think the next Power Ranger thing that you will hear from us is going to be the white light or whatever the hell we end up doing. Something to do with the White Ranger when he comes in, because I need a refresher course on what the show did. So that's what you will hear from us about Power Rangers next. And I guess we should just go to plugs. If you enjoyed this episode, over 750 other episodes of this podcast, everything we do is on Podbean. If you want to support the show, if you want to be a part of the show, if you want to suggest things for me to eventually get to, you want to learn, join the Discord. It is free. I'm always happy to have new people join us. If you want to help support the show and give me some money, you can donate $1 a month to our Patreon polls. We have 1 to 2 polls a month where you can affect the show. That will, depends on what comes on the show. I have different polls to what episodes are decided every month. So a great way to help support the show and make stuff happen that won't happen otherwise. And want to give a shout out to my awesome intro and outro courtesy of Helena at Hell Has Free. Follow her on TikTok and Instagram. And definitely go check out A Gamer Looks at 40 with Bill Tucker. You will see a link to his show. And please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, Blue Sky, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. And rate and review us. Helps out the algorithm, makes the show grow. Makes me happy. I think that's everything I need to say. So we will see you guys all next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye now.
See ya.